Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello
Hello, and welcome to
to
the
the
World
World
Room
Room
Podcast.
Podcast.
So please do well to like, subscribe, and share to all your friends and family because we
Yes.
are going to be talking about something very good today.
Exactly. Also, let me tell them also, do well to follow us on our socials. We are on TikTok and we are also on Instagram.
Yeah,
Just the World Room what?
pod,
That's it.
just
The
the World
World
Room
Room
pod.
Pod.
And
And
also, we are on YouTube as well.
Oh yeah,
exactly,
please do
yes.
well to like and
Follow
subscribe.
subscribe our channel and it's also the World Room Pod.
Pod. Exactly. So thank you so much and welcome to today's episode. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a very sensitive subject, which is why your one job or your one paycheck
Your one paycheck, yes.
isn't
It's not
enough.
enough,
Mm.
yes.
Especially in Canada, especially in this economy that we are in right now.
Exactly.
One job
Right?
isn't enough. I mean, most people have two, three. I'm sure our listeners have multiple jobs, but what we're trying to tell you is why that paycheck, having living paycheck to paycheck, or if you have multiple paychecks, living multiple paychecks to multiple paychecks isn't enough. And so today we have a special guest with us who is also one of our co-founders of the Wealth Room podcast. I would like y'all
Yes.
to meet Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Welcome, my
Welcome,
G.
welcome, welcome.
Welcome, man.
Welcome.
So, Emmanuel, thank you for joining us today as we are talking about, multi-handed income. We know that, you've been a big player of that multi-handed income. You've always been looking for different means, different streams of income. And,
Mm-hmm.
talking about this topic today in particular,
Exactly.
having two people, you and my mentor here,
Mm-hmm.
talking about this kind of thing, I feel like we're going to be able to, really digress and digest this particular issue. So we're going to be starting, with my mentor. What do you really understand by multi-added income? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here is also
Well, before I talk about multi-added income,
okay.
I will first say that I'll first ask this question first: that can Canadians,
Uh-huh.
right? Can they rely on one income in today's economy?
Definitely not. I can't rely on one income.
What do you think?
I mean, some are comfortable with that, but for me, for now,
It's
Exactly.
definitely a
For
no.
me, I don't want to live
No.
from hand to what? To
hand to
mouth.
mouth.
Exactly.
No, no
So
way.
I believe that 95% of the Canadians in today's economy
Yeah.
cannot or have not been able to find it easy,
Mhm.
to rely on one income.
That is very true.
Now, thinking about this one income can be, multiple paychecks. One income can be one paycheck.
Hmm.
That's one thing that we need to understand first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when we're talking about multi hands, I get me now. That is that income that is not about yourself. That income that is not attached to yourself.
Mm.
And that is the game changer. And that is the bedrock of any rich, rich man or bed or foundation for any rich person. Anybody that you see that is worthy or
Mhm.
that has enough, to take care of his family
Mhm.
and himself, definitely have more than one hand that is bringing income into his
Yeah.
pocket.
So basically, what you mean by so basically single-handed income.
Yes.
So just to kind of like clarify for me and our listeners,
Yes.
single-handed income is it like a single source of income or like job, like saying, oh, you have to work for something. That's a single-handed income. What would you say is a single-handed income? That is one hand. What would you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I made a reference to the issue of single hand.
Yeah.
I get me now.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about single hand, you're
Mhm.
talking about one person working, and the income is dependent on that person. Are you getting
Mm,
me now?
mm.
So when your income is dependent on you, you are a single hand. Now, let's say for example, now you fall sick and you cannot go to work,
Mhm.
and maybe for example you don't have like sick pay or you don't have any vacation that you can actually use, the way the Canadian economy is structured,
Yeah.
that means that that day you cannot earn money. But when you have multi-hand in a business, say for example in a business setup, even if you don't go to your work, your shop or your business or whatever you call your own little empire, there are people in that particular place that you've already employed that is multiplying your hours for you.
Mm.
So it's not dependent on you to make that income. So that's the meaning of that multi-handed income.
So I just want to add to it
Mhm.
that whatever you do that require your physical presence,
Mhm.
it's that is single multi-handed single income.
Yes.
Single
Yeah,
income.
single income.
So
Exactly.
whatever
So
you do that requires
your
your
physical
physical
presence.
presence is single income.
Exactly.
I think I speak for our listeners when I say that that is awesome. That's almost every
Exactly.
single person
Exactly.
out there.
Now the question that we have to ask ourselves before we even like dive or dig
Yeah.
deep into multi-handed income, right?
Mhm.
Is that we need to first discuss the issues,
Mm.
the economic issues that Canadians are facing every day. Like, do we have anybody or anyone that is experiencing difficulty in paying utilities?
I'm experiencing difficulty, please. To our listeners out there, please.
Or are you finding it easy to pay your utilities?
I mean,
Definitely, no matter how much you have, it's
Yeah,
hard for you
yeah,
to pay your utilities
there is always
because you're taking it from your hard-earned money. So
always
even if you
something.
earn $10,000 every month, you still find it difficult to take out $500, $600, $700 to pay your utilities because you know that you have what scarce resources. So it's hard for you to to plan. When it comes to you can't plan based on your on your income
I
alone.
don't even think it's just utilities. There's transportation, there's
Transportation, yes.
healthcare, there's feeding.
and I feel the way the whole system is designed,
Yeah.
like they give you something, and one way or the other, you return it back to the system.
Exactly. It's just like the
Uh,
this proverbial phrase that says that when the devil gives you something, it uses
yeah.
another one, another hand to
Uses
take it
another
back.
hand to
I
Exactly.
take
think I
it
can
back.
equate the Canadian government to that. They are like the devil. They take it, they give it to you, but when you say Jack Robinson, they've
They're
taken it
taking
back
it
from you.
back.
Exactly.
That even involves this GST that they've been sending back, and they've now been basically the GST that has to do with the GST rebates that we always get
Exactly.
every quarterly, every 3 months.
Yeah.
That basically gets taken back in groceries, in every single
Yeah.
thing that you do. They
Yes.
always take it back. They always find
For
ways.
me, I would never be political about how government policies, affect, average Canadians.
Yeah.
Are you getting me out there? But I feel like, you can never find equity, or fairness in areas, that have to do with government policy. For example, now someone like me now, I made so much money last year that they had to shut me out from getting that. So, but I'm not angry. I'm not angry about that.
Yeah.
But it just shows that even though you earn so much, you are not entitled to some certain benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
I
very
don't
true.
mind that. But even for average Canadians that are privileged to to get all these government rebates, the question I want to ask is: are these rebates enough?
No, not at all. I think mine is even finished. Is yours still there?
Like 3 days ago, everybody they were saying, I received this particular amount from CRA.
Yeah.
I'm still checking my account up till now. Maybe one day, like it will enter my account. No,
It's
no.
because you earn so much. That's why. And the
Yeah.
Canadian government is trying to like bring you down to the level
Oh yeah.
whereby they want you to become poor so that you can get all these benefits.
So like if we're to really be honest, what exactly would you say? You would say multi-handed income is the solution to all these issues. Is that what you're saying?
Um, yeah, because multi-handed income, is the solution to this.
So what is because it feels like everyone now is doomed to suffer the same fate of living hand to mouth,
Yeah.
living paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
So what would you say? What exactly or how exactly, and I speak for myself and our viewers, how exactly would you guys suggest that one goes about achieving multi-handed income?
Well, I won't go deeply into multi-handed income right now because
Yeah.
we are going to talk about multi-handed income fully in our next episode, which is the part two
Look out for
of
that,
this,
guys.
this segment.
Oh yeah.
So I will keep that one, in my pocket for you guys out there. then we're gonna dig deep into that because I know my partner here is really is so much
Oh
interested in
yeah.
hearing more about
I am.
how multi-added income can change Canadian lives. But before we talk about that, and before we close this particular segment, because we are timed, I want to also ask us about the danger of one income. That I think we need to close this segment with that. That what are the dangers? What do you think are the dangers of one income? How do you think one income can have an adverse effect on average Canadians out there?
Um. Well, honestly, I want to start by sharing my example. A life example of mine. Honestly, having just a single income, or at least when I had a single income, it was.
Well, you obviously you enjoy multi-added income now.
Of course, I've seen the truth. I've seen the light.
Exactly.
But when I had like a single income, it was so hard. It felt like once you clear one thing, another thing comes. You clear that one, another thing comes. You clear that one, and like three other things come. It's like there was a time, okay, I traveled in January, and when I came back in February, I had rent, I had utility bills,
Yes.
I had car insurance, I had car maintenance,
Hmm.
all piled up.
Hmm.
And when I started going through all that little by little, little by little, you would then have groceries, you would then have miscellaneous here and there of things spoiling, or you need to fix things, or you need
Yes.
to get new things because
Yes.
some things are already worn out or something like that.
Yes.
And then basically you still have family that you have to take care of. You have
Yes.
friends, you have, relationships, all of that. So the bills never stopped coming. They always kept on piling and piling. But with multi-handed income now, one can assign this to this. Having multiple streams of income, I can be there for the physical job, knowing that my multi-handed income has got my back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Emmanuel, what do you think is the risk that is attached to one income?
That one risk for me, I'd say, is the job security
Mm.
because
Mm.
you don't have control over
That's
it.
a very good one.
Exactly.
That's a
Yes.
I've
very good one.
I've seen people and some people saying, I made over 100K a year. Yeah, that sounds like a big money, and they have lots of like stuffs like car loans.
When you earn, you want to increase your standard of living.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
yeah,
an average human being would
yeah.
want to
that
do, right?
exactly is true.
Mhm.
So like the car loans, house
Mhm.
mortgage and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I'll be like on top of this money,
Yes.
you already had all of this.
Exactly.
And one thing about I don't know, like some of us, we kind of match up with we match up with our earning. Like for example, let's say you are making like 70K
Mhm.
and then you were able to secure a job of like 100K.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Instead of you to maintain the standard of living for the 70K,
Yeah.
or you'd be like, now I
Something
make
100K.
100K.
Exactly.
Let me
Let
go
me
get a
just
Benz.
Yeah.
Let me get this.
Let me
Yeah.
get the Benz.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it will still feel as if you are making nothing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you
That
very
that is
much.
a very, very, very
Thank you
good
very
point.
much, Emmanuel. I will now cap it up by saying that other dangers, such as layoffs, such as
Yeah.
unexpected emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
For me, someone
Yeah.
like me, I always have emergencies.
Exactly.
God have mercy on my soul. Also, the importance of having financial cushion is very important.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to talk about having financial cushion in line with modern income in our next segment. So stay tuned.
All right.
So now, to cap it off now,
Yeah.
I also want you also want to ask a question. Put these questions across to you. We want you to talk about this or start the discussion in the comment section.
Yep.
We're talking about what have you ever had to rely on a second income? Have you been privileged to rely on the second income? And tell us how easy for you
Yeah.
that experience is.
Was
It was.
exactly. Listeners,
Also,
give us that.
have you ever gotten yourself in trouble before, in a situation whereby you cannot work for a long period of time,
Yep.
and then you have to rely on your savings.
Mhm.
Please do well and comment and let us have a battle of discussion
Oh
in the
yeah,
comment section.
because you guys can join us. I mean, it doesn't have to just be us sitting down here talking. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
But join us in part 2 talking about multi-handed income.
Exactly, and then before we go, do well and subscribe to our
Yep.
channel.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned to our YouTube channel
Exactly.
because this is some good information.
Yes.
Look forward to part 2. And this is the
It's
Wealth
Room
Room Podcast.